So good morning, I'm here in front of the Sendlinger Tor, as you can maybe see behind me. And I already introduced you to Ludwigvorstadt, which is the city quarter north of here. And I thought today I introduce you to the city quarter now, south of the center, Ludwigvorstadt-Isarvorstadt. And if we look around behind me, you see St. Matthias, which is a Protestant church, while all the churches in the city center are Catholic. And behind St. Matthias, there's the University Clinicum, which you hopefully won't see inside when you're here in Munich. And the next stop that I will show you is to the east from here, which is the Glockenbachviertel, the Glockenbach quarter, and I'll show you what's going on there. So I hope you enjoyed that video, and see you then.
Ludwigvorstadt-Isarvorstadt was not yet heavily populated in medieval times. The area was not urbanized until the Gründerzeit in the 19th century and was incorporated into the city of Munich in 1853. Before I move to the Glockenbachviertel, let me briefly point out what's south of Sendlinger Tor. Ludwigvorstadt-Strasse leads into the current district and the former village of Sendling. Before that, on the right-hand side is the Protestant brick church of St. Matthäus, St. Matthew in English. Behind it is the Nussbaum Park. Unfortunately, it is also a meeting place for the drug scene. For this reason, a temporary beer garden with a cultural program has been held here every summer for the past few years, to make the park a little more livable again. Behind it is a huge university hospital complex. It is the second largest hospital in Germany after the Charité in Berlin. But as I said, I hope no one of you end up there during your Munich vacation. But now finally to the Glockenbachviertel. Today it is still characterized by buildings from the Gründerzeit. That is, from the period of industrialization in Germany in the mid to late 19th century. The district was initially dominated by poorer sections of the working class. This remained the case until the 1990s. Then the district was discovered by students and artists, apartments were renovated, and the district developed into an inn-district. But the students of that time grew older and wealthier, other residents with money moved in, displacing the former working class. In a nutshell, the Glockenbachviertel is a prime example of gentrification. But one constant remained. Even in the 1920s, the district was characterized by the gay scene. After being suppressed by the Nazis, the scene revived. Today, you can see rainbow flags everywhere, and the traffic light men are same-sex couples. The neighborhood is still a popular nightlife district today, with exciting restaurants, cafes and clubs. I'll introduce a few here, but it's best to explore the district yourself. The heart of the Glockenbachviertel is Hans-Sachs-Strasse. Richly decorated buildings in the neo-Baroque style characterize the street and are now a protected ensemble. Once a year in August, the LGBTQ scene also celebrates here with a legendary street festival. If you walk north along Müllerstrasse along the streetcar tracks, you will pass Munich's most controversial building. The 7, the most expensive apartments in Munich, were built in a tower of a former thermal power station. Rumor has it that the top apartment was sold for 10 million euros. In a city where living space is in short supply, such projects do not always meet with approval. A few meters further on is practically the opposite model. The building here was due to be demolished in 2014. In response, many Munich artists and celebrities joined forces and renovated the building in a kind of guerrilla action. Thanks to their commitment, the building was not demolished and now serves as a residential and cultural center Bellevue di Monaco. The house provides accommodation for 40 young refugees. The cafe on the first floor serves as a meeting place for local residents and refugees. Behind this successful project is the Glockenbachwerkstatt, where concerts ranging from blues to punk take place from time to time. If you head east, you come to Gärtnerplatz, and actually you are no longer in the Glockenbachviertel but in the Gärtnerplatztheater. Culturally, however, this makes no difference. Built in 1860, Gärtnerplatz is dominated by the Staatstheater am Gärtnerplatz, which offers a varied program of opera, operetta, musicals and ballet. On warm summer nights, Gärtnerplatz is also a popular meeting place for young people to enjoy a bottle of beer. In recent years, this has repeatedly led to disputes with local residents. The Deutsche Eiche is located in Reichenbachstrasse. The restaurant and hotel is one of the oldest gay-friendly establishments in Munich. Freddie Mercury lived in Munich from 1979 to 1985 and enjoyed the tolerant climate in Munich. He was a regular guest in the sauna and restaurant of the Deutsche Eiche. That's why today a mural commemorates Freddie Mercury's time in Munich. If you walk a little further east from Gärtnerplatz, you come to the Isar, which also marks the district boundary here. Museum Island is home of the Deutsches Museum, the largest science and technology museum in Europe. At the moment, only part of it is open, as a large part is being renovated. That's why I'm taking my time to make a video about it, but it will come. The black building on the left is the main building of the European Patent Office. Behind it you can see the German Patent Office. At the next Isar bridge to the south I walk down Frauenhoferstrasse. The Bergwolf is located at the Frauenhoferstrasse subway station. It is Munich's top address for currywurst. I just have to say one thing. Currywurst is not a Munich specialty, but comes from Berlin. So I would recommend trying the currywurst there. But if you're not coming to Berlin and you really want to try currywurst, then Bergwolf is the place to go. If you want to try Bavarian delicacies, the Frauenhofer next door is the place to go. This inn with over 100 years of tradition is not your typical tourist restaurant. Concerts and cabaret are also occasionally held here. Behind it, in the inner courtyard, is the Werkstattkino, an absolute must for movie geeks. The Arto cinema shows everything from B-movies to Italian horror films to cinematic art. Only one thing is not shown here: mainstream. A stone's throw from here and you come to the Optimal. The Optimal is Munich's best stocked record store. It has outlived CD and MP3 and is a true heaven for vinyl fans. 2 blocks to the south is the Milla. Milla is one of the best concert venues in the city. The stage is located in an old cellar. There was a time when the Milla was not located here, but illegal raves were held here. Back then you could even go one cellar deeper than today and see the underground Westermühlbach. Maybe I get access to film it in the future, because Munich city creeks are an exciting story. Around the corner you can also see how the Westermühlbach stream disappears into the depths. Even some Munich residents think it's the Glockenbach. Today, however, the Glockenbach only runs underground. Incidentally, the name comes from the bell foundry that once stood here. Bell is Glocke in German and Bach means creek. The Old South Cemetery is located next to the stream. It was laid out in 1563 as a plague cemetery and later used as the central cemetery. It has not been used since 1944 and is home of the who's who of Munich city history. The cemetery is also worth a separate video. St. Anton is located at the head of the Old South Cemetery. Behind it begins the Dreimühlenviertel. There used to be 3 mills here, which gave the district its name. Only one waterworks can still be found here. Today, this quiet district with its many cafes and restaurants is very popular. To the west is the Schlachthofviertel, the slaughterhouse district. A few years ago, slaughtering was still carried out here on a grand scale. Today, only smaller butchers slaughter here. I know people who used to live in the district and became vegetarians because of the daily cattle transports. The Wirtshaus in Schlachthof is located at the entrance of the abattoir. It is still a popular cabaret venue today. As the abattoir continues to decline, the Volkstheater has also found a home here, one of the largest theater stages in the city. And just south of it is Bahnwärter Thiel, which was able to set up shop on the disused railroad tracks. The Alternative Cultural Center is an exciting place between techno club, concerts and studios. In old streetcars and freighter containers, cultural workers and artists have come to fruition. The alternative Christmas market Moonshine Express also takes place here. If you want to see what it looks like, you should watch my Christmas market video. If you follow Ludwigvorstadt-Isarvorstadt westwards, you come to the listed Lindwurmhof on the right. And a place that everyone who wants to stay longer in Munich should know, on the left. The Kreisverwaltungsreferat, the district administration office, where you can get identity cards, driving licenses, residence permits for foreigners, and all kinds of permits in general. Further west you come to the Theresienwiese. Outside of the Oktoberfest period, this is usually just an open wasteland, but the Bavaria Statute still watches over it. It was built in 1850 by the art and bell foundry of Ferdinand von Milla on behalf of King Ludwig I. The same company, by the way, that later built the Lincoln Memorial in Washington. Today you can visit the Bavaria for an entrance fee of €5. I just wouldn't do it at the height of summer, as the bronze heats up a lot. Behind it is the Hall of Fame, with busts of important Bavarian personalities such as politicians, artists and scientists. The first female bust was added in 1972. In 2006 the proportion of women had still not improved, so art student Aneta Steck promptly placed her own bust there. It wasn't until 7 months later that the wrong bust was discovered. North of Theresienwiese is St. Paul's Church, which also gives the district its name. The neo-Gothic church was consecrated in 1906. On December 17, 1960, an American military plane collided with the church tower in dense fog. The plane then crashed into a fully loaded streetcar. 20 passengers on the plane and 32 passengers on the streetcar died in that accident. To the east of St. Paul and south of the main railway station is Ludwigvorstadt. It is usually the first things travelers see of Munich. Nowhere is the density of hotels, kebab stores and strip clubs greater in Munich. But don't be put off by the rough charm of the district. The Turkish supermarkets are fantastic and there's probably nowhere better to eat Yemeni, Afghan or Turkish food than here. The Deutsches Theater is also located here. It mainly attracts audiences with musical productions. I hope you enjoyed the tour through Ludwigvorstadt-Isarvorstadt. I left a lot out. I also didn't want to make a 2-hour video, but it's best to discover things for yourself anyway. I will link the stores I mentioned in the video below, but why not take a look at my homepage and book a tour. Here's my email address. Until the next video, Philip.